Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Live with Thrive. I am Dr. Allison Harris Welcher, the host of this podcast and the creator of Thrive Life Coaching. I'm so excited that you are joining me this evening. We have a very exciting episode ahead, and I know many folks who are watching are likely very excited about the presidential debate that is occurring at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are not going to delay with getting started with tonight's podcast. I am so excited to welcome to the stage Marchell Jackson. She is the dynamic founder and CEO of Perfected Solutions, LLC. And in today's episode, Thriving Through Change, Turning Challenges into Opportunities, Marchell's journey will showcase her resilience and adaptability after facing a significant setback. She has turned her passion into a thriving business and has really seamlessly balanced just the roles of being a mother, a wife, and an entrepreneur. So I'm excited for her to join us today as we explore her path through womanhood, motherhood, and career. Marchell, let's welcome you to the stage.
Hi,
Hi.
Allison.
Hi, welcome, welcome. How are you this evening?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm so excited to have you here on our episode this evening and would love for the guests to get to know you a bit better. So I'm going to start just by asking you a few quick questions just to get us warmed up and to get to know you better. And all of these questions are related to the Thrive framework that I've created. So what is one healthy habit that you've established that helps you to thrive?
Definitely exercising. So
Okay.
I've found a newfound love with nature recently. So just taking a walk, getting fresh air. I started back running after it's
Nice.
been like 9 years. So, and as you can imagine, our bodies change,
Yes.
especially after having two kids. So, just making sure that I stay active, I feel like has really helped me just stay motivated at accomplishing my goals, and it gives me energy and it just makes me feel good and confident. So definitely just getting a daily dose of fresh air, whether it's just with a walk, a run, just something every day.
I love it. I love it. Movement is so key. So, so
Yes.
key. So, tell us about your favorite way to rest and rejuvenate.
Girl, sleep.
Yeah, I love that.
Really, just like when I can take a nap in the middle of the day, and that does not happen often,
Yeah,
I get up and I feel so good.
good.
Um, so I try to get as much sleep. Being a mom, being having a corporate job, running a business, being a wife, managing a household, it's exhausting. So even when I want to sleep, sometimes my mind is still going. So
Absolutely.
sleeping, and I do things to physically make me wind down, like getting a massage
Yeah,
or just having a glass of wine. Like once a week or moderately, it just puts me in a mood where I can unwind and my mind will settle and then my body will follow.
I love that. I love that. And right, it's the one thing like sleep, right? It doesn't have to be fancy. It's just like close your eyes and rest.
Right, right. It's so important.
Yeah. So, Marshall, what is one core value that you hold and why?
Definitely taking accountability.
Okay.
When I was younger, I remember always being told certain things, but I never saw the action. Like I remember what I was told and what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to be, but I never saw an example of it.
Mm,
And so now I feel like when you say something or you represent something, there has to be some sort of action behind it. And accountability to me means action. It's not just about, being sorry about something or wanting something. It's about what is that action that's going to hold you to, what you want to say or what your thought process is behind it.
I love that accountability. It is so important to hold ourselves accountable and to quite honestly hold others accountable, right? For the things they say
Absolutely.
for sure. What's a recent victory that you're really proud of?
Of course, it's starting my business. This is like brand new. I mean, it has not even been, so it's been since March. So, almost 6 months now.
Yes.
And it just feels so good. And it feels like it's the one thing that's mine.
Yes. Yes.
And, it kind of reminds me of being pregnant. When you're pregnant, like you don't really have to share your baby with anyone.
Yep. Yep.
Because you have that 9 months where that child is
Yeah.
just yours. It's
Yeah.
just you and that baby. But
Yeah.
once they're here, you share them with the entire world. And I feel like with this business, it's kind of like my baby. And I mean, if I want to share it, I can, but I'm not obligated to.
I love that. I love that. I
Yeah.
definitely resonate with that. As I was building Thrive Life Coaching, I was like, all right, I'm birthing something new. And I'm going to share it with the world, but it's mine. It's really mine. I love
Yep.
it. Last getting to know you question. What's one activity or moment that just brings you enjoyment and satisfaction?
I will say when I put my kids to bed and I see the peacefulness
Mhm.
in their eyes or, on their face, or it's just, it brings me so much satisfaction to know that I've created an environment for them where they're so comfortable, so at peace, so
Yeah,
happy that they don't know a struggle or a challenge, which I mean, as they get older, I'm sure that'll come.
of
But
course.
for my younger kids, it's definitely that peacefulness that they have that, a lot of kids may not be able to have that.
Yeah.
So that is really like what makes my heart beat.
Yeah, I love that. That is beautiful. And you
Yeah.
are the mom of two youngins. And so know that both you and I have had a day of mothering and working and all the things. So again, want to thank you for taking the time to join this evening. If you are tuning in, we'd love for you to just chat. Let us know where you are tuning in from. If you're just joining tonight, this is episode 12 with Marchell Jackson. Thriving through change, turning challenges into opportunities. Before we continue, I do want to let our guests know that I do have a free guide. There are just 16 weeks, y'all, left in 2024, if you can believe it. But it is not too late. It's not too late to reach those 2024 goals. So I invite you to take a moment to download this guide. It has some intentional reflection questions and opportunities for you to think about how you can reach those goals that you have for the year. So without further ado, let's jump right in, Marchell. So can you start by just sharing your personal interests and passions that influenced you to the path you are at today?
Yes. So I've always been an advocate for helping people. When I first started my career, I started in customer service.
Okay.
And then I made a transition to higher education where I was working in admissions at a university. And then I got more involved in providing students and graduates with job opportunities and working in career services.
Mhm.
Um, so my goal has always been to like help and touch as many lives as I can.
Yeah.
And so this led right up to me opening Perfected Solutions because in Perfected Solutions, what I do is I help people accomplish their goals.
Yeah.
I help them find ways to make it easier to focus on that. And I handle those administrative burdens or workloads that may be prohibiting them from, giving their time to things that are more important. So I thrive off of helping other people and seeing people accomplish their goals. It's always been, a lifelong passion of mine. And I never, ever would have thought I would have been doing this.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, it just organically fits with my personality, with who I am. And so those passions just kind of turned into, this baby of a company.
I love
Yeah.
that. And right. And you get paid to do it, right? You get paid to do something
Exactly. The
that the
best
next one
part.
gets, right? Yeah. And
Exactly.
you love it. You're good at it. And so that's just an amazing feeling. And I know when we talked earlier, you shared a little bit of a story that like got you to launching Perfected Solutions this year. Tell us about that story. What happened?
Yeah, so back in 2021, I was approached for a contracting job with a huge pharmaceutical company. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I didn't really understand why they chose me. But I took the opportunity and I did so well and I loved it. I loved the job. It gave me so much confidence and I was, doing what I always do by helping others. But it was on a different level. It was working with scientists and researchers and, pharmaceutical reps. And it was an industry that I wasn't familiar with. So it really gave me confidence when I took that role and I did so well. Well, in October of 2023, that contract ended, and
Mhm.
I had high hopes of being hired on into a permanent role. And they did not do it for, I don't really know what the reason was. So after that, I started, putting my name and dropping my name and resume and, with people in my network and trying to find something to replace that income and that thirst that it's like you kind of woke me up now,
Yeah.
and what am I supposed to do with this, right?
Right.
So I was just constantly being rejected. I put in so many job applications. I even did a few interviews, and I felt myself falling into a depression because I'm like, I just don't understand, like, why can't I have experience, I have the education. um and then I just started looking for other things that I was interested in. I started, doing things like going into fashion and things that I knew that maybe didn't want to have a career in, but I enjoyed doing it.
Right.
So I started just, randomly creating closets and selling my clothes and putting outfits together, and people would buy them. So that kind of helped a little bit. And then I started looking for other roles in personal assistant. And I just so happened to get like three.
Wow.
And these were just like one off type of things, like for people needed help with certain projects. And so, there were things that I was able to do outside of my corporate job. And then, I was just like, why don't I just start a company doing this? Like in a month, I had already started working with like three people, and
Mhm.
it was going so well. And what's crazy is they kind of approached me, and I was, kind of in a place where I was like, do I want to do this? Am I going to be able to do this? But I
Mm.
said yes,
Yes.
and I did it. So that discouragement, and that I needed to feel that though.
Yeah.
I needed to know that, okay, what happens when you feel like you're defeated? Where do
Mm.
you go from there? Do you stay there, or do you find something, a little bit of light from anything to kind of pick you up
Yeah.
until things kind of fall into place?
Yeah. Wow, what a beautiful story. And thank you for sharing that. I'm certain there are folks out there right now who have either gone through that or maybe even experiencing that right now, right? They've had a
Yeah.
major setback, something they certainly were not expecting. And to be in such a dark place of like, wait a minute, feeling defeated and, being discouraged. Talk with us about that leap to actually create perfected solutions while also balancing being a mother and a wife. Like, how did you like pull all of that together? How did that happen?
I just did it. Honestly, it just felt so organic.
Mm, yeah.
Like, I've never felt so much peace about something. And I'm the type of person where if I do something and it's going to be like people are going to be watching, it has to be perfection. And
Mhm.
so I had to let go of that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I had to give myself grace. And I said, you know what? If you're going to do this, you need to, one, stay committed to it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And two, because that's another issue that I have, staying committed and actually carrying out,
Yeah.
something to the end. And then two, you have to give yourself, you cannot go in with this perfectionist mindset of everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's not. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Things are not always going to be easy. And I just had to be okay with even experiencing defeat again, because I didn't know, whether it was going to work or not. And I didn't want to put myself back in this hole. But the feeling and the work that I was doing, it was worth it to me, right? I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I like what I'm doing. And worst case, if this business doesn't work out, what did I lose?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You bet on yourself. And I think, you mentioned earlier just the passion and just the natural gift that you have that you were already doing something you loved. So it
Yeah.
was like, I'll learn something, right? Or I'll
Yep,
grow from it, or make some money, right?
exactly.
I love that. So, talk with us a little bit about your role as a mother and how that has shaped your leadership style and even your approach to running Perfected Solutions. You talked about, helping people who are super busy, and you yourself, right, are super busy as a mom, a working mom and wife.
Yeah. So I think leadership is a lot like being a mother. And the reason why I say that is because I have three kids. One, my son, he's a lot older, he's 19. But I could not parent my other two kids the way that I did him.
Mhm,
Even my younger kids, I cannot parent them the same. And
mhm.
it's the same for being a leader. You cannot just lead people. Everyone needs different things.
Yeah.
So I think having that mindset and being, the leader of my organization, I know that I cannot approach every client the same way.
Mm.
Everyone needs something different from you.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've learned with being a mom, and how now that we're talking about it, I see how those skills have now translated to my career.
Yes.
But I just feel like it's very true. You cannot lead just like you cannot mother everyone the same way. People need different things from you, and you have to be able to give them, what it is that they need in order for them to thrive.
I love that. I love that insight so much. The tagline for Thrive Life Coaching is helping women to thrive, Black and Brown women to thrive in womanhood, motherhood, and career. And one
Mhm.
of the things I seek to highlight is like, one, we're women, right? We're
Right.
proud of that. And being a mother, there's just so many skills and innate things that we have, and things,
Mhm.
quite honestly, that we learn that we can then take to our careers. And we can
Mhm.
actually thrive in all three of those, and see how they support each other. And like you said, there's things you've learned as a mother that have now influenced your entrepreneurial pursuits, in such a powerful way. I
Mhm.
love that. So, tell us about a specific instance where you have felt a harmonious balance between your professional work and your role as a mother. Have there been any instances where you feel like this is just like jiving, like this is just rolling, like everything is running on, on a smooth trail?
Yeah, I would say when last year, um, I was caught like in between balancing motherhood and showing up for like PTA. I really wanted to be involved at the school my daughter was at, because it was, she was new to the school, and I felt like we need to be a part of this community.
Yeah.
And trying so hard to like work this corporate job, be there at the school, and manage it. It was just a lot. And then I had another, smaller daughter too. So this year, it's just been a breeze because I block off time at my calendar, and there's no one's waiting for me back. You know what I'm saying? No one's waiting to check if I'm online or not. And I still have my corporate job, but I'm now able to have the flexibility because someone that I was working with at my corporate job actually supported my idea to
Yeah.
open a business. So, just having that support, and being able to walk away from my computer and be there for my kids, that's when I felt like I got this. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, worst case, I lose that corporate job, I have my business.
Yeah.
I'm not
Absolutely.
going to be left with nothing.
Absolutely. I love
So,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the practical strategy you just shared, right? Just blocking your calendar. Now, we recognize it's a privilege, right? To be able to work a job where you have that flexibility, but also having the tools and the discipline yourself and have clear
Yeah.
priorities to say, hey, I want to be present, at my child's school or whatever the things that are important to you. And here's how I'm going to navigate and use my time best to meet those needs and priorities. You talked about, your corporate job and having that support system there, your boss supporting that. But what other support systems do you have in place that have been helpful to your career and to your family?
Definitely my husband, and having that open communication about what I need from him.
Mhm.
Um, I think, and I'm sure you experience the mom guilt a lot, and even the wife guilt sometimes of not being able to be present
Yeah.
all the time, or
Yeah.
as much as we think that we should.
Yeah.
And just having his reassurance that it's okay, I can take care of this for you.
Yeah.
I don't feel burdened
Yeah.
about missing, certain times with the kids in the evening,
Yeah.
like I used to. He's really helped me with that. And just being disciplined and knowing, going into my week, knowing ahead of time what I have to face, I
Mhm.
think helps me prepare mentally.
Yeah.
And like, for example, this week, super busy. I know that. So I know that there's going to be very little play. So I played last week and I will play next week. So just
Yes.
setting myself up for that time and allowing myself the grace of, you worked really hard this week. You're going to
Yeah.
relax on the weekend. Or
Yeah.
next week, you know what? You're going to take a day off or block off an afternoon for self care or whatever it is that I
Yeah.
want to do during that time. So just being very disciplined with my time.
Yeah.
Um, and then that helps me too with my business, because a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners that I support, that's their biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's great practices all around.
I love that. I love the support from your partner. And we can't, do this alone. We know many folks try to, but the reality of it is, whether it's a partner, a spouse, a friend, whoever, like having someone to support you in this journey is so, so important. But
Mhm.
also, I love this idea of play. Right? Like this idea, like, it's fun for us as like grown women and mothers to say play and know what we're talking about. It's just like being free, right? Being able to
Yes.
just frolic and enjoy. And so I really love that idea. And I hope folks take that in, whether it's play or joy, but just this freedom, right? To just
Yeah.
be away from the busy schedules that we have. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. Well, I promised folks we were going to make sure we got out of here before we go watch Madam Vice President Kamala Harris on the
Yes.
presidential debate. But Marchell, I want to make sure I give you the final word to offer our listeners just any insight you have around what would be your final words for encouragement for women seeking to thrive.
I will say just do it and don't fall into the discouragement. You have one day.
Mhm.
Allow yourself that one day to feel whatever it is that you want to feel. But
Mm,
after that, pick yourself up and do it. Do it for yourself, because you will not regret it. I promise you. So you
yeah.
take your day, let yourself feel whatever you want. But tomorrow is a new day,
Yeah.
and you will not regret doing it for yourself. I promise you.
I love that. I love that. Well, Marchell, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I do want you to share just a little bit more information about Perfected Solutions and let folks know how they can find you.
Yes. So I am on Instagram as Perfected Solutions. My company is an administrative support company. So I offer support to business owners, entrepreneurs, just anyone that needs help with that aspect of their business. I'm also on Facebook as Perfected Solutions, and you can connect with me there. My website is www.perfectedsolutions.co.
Awesome. Marchell, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It has been a pleasure speaking with you.
Great. Thanks so much for having me, Allison.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you, audience, for joining us this evening. Again, encourage you to please go like, follow, share Perfected Solutions on Instagram and on Facebook. Founded by and led by Marchell Jackson to support all of your administrative needs. Again, want to make sure folks are aware of this free resource. You know that it is time to supercharge your year. It is fall, or fall is upon us in just about 12 days. And you don't want to let 2024 go by without reaching some of those goals. Now, I'm not suggesting you're going to reach everything if you have not gotten started yet, but I do truly believe that you can reach some of your goals, whether it be related to fitness or to healthy eating habits or just anything in your career. Encourage you to please download this guide. It has some great reflection questions and some ways that you can learn just some habits and strategies to put some things in motion for yourself. Also, want to invite folks to connect with me. I offer free empowerment strategy sessions, again, catering to Black and Brown women who are navigating the complexities of womanhood, motherhood, and career. I'd love the chance to speak with you and learn more about your goals and some of the things that you desire for yourself, and see if there's any way that I can support you in reaching those goals. You see the URL there to schedule an empowerment strategy session with me to learn more about my coaching services. And as we close out, thank you. It's 9 o'clock on the dot, so I'm going to let folks switch over to hopefully watch the presidential debate this evening. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful evening.